Quick disclaimer, the comments made in this podcast are not meant to be hurtful or insulting to the authors of the highlighted fanfiction. Any seemingly degrading comments are made in jest and are not meant to be taken seriously. Similarly, anything read as part of the fanfictions do not represent the values of the hosts.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Pick is Fic. I am your host Micah, and with me is my good brother Jason. Jason, how are we doing today?
Doing good, feeling very festive.
Festive?
Yeah,
Why?
because the last movie we watched was Arthur Christmas.
Whoa, Arthur Christmas! Incredible movie, at least from my perspective. You, not so much.
I still don't know.
Yeah, you still have...
Okay. There is some very, well done, touching moments and a couple good jokes. But the majority of the movie, first off, the movie, I wouldn't say the movie's ugly, it's just off-putting. The look of the characters just didn't sit right with me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the especially some of the facial expressions were I didn't like Arthur. First off, the main character, I didn't like I just thought I don't know what certain facial expression they did with him just looked weird.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like him as a character. And most of the jokes weren't funny, but then the lore, what they do with the Christmas lore is actually very interesting, and I actually really like it. How the Santas are a generation, generation.
Right.
It's not just one guy.
Right.
It's kind of like the Santa Claus, but it's actually a family lineage instead of just whoever happens to kill Santa.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I don't know what I would I'm trying to think if I like it, don't like it, or I'm in the middle. I don't know my exact thoughts on it. I think I lean more towards just below average. I don't think I'd want to watch it again. I definitely wouldn't want to watch it every year.
Right.
The only Christmas movie I didn't grow up with that I would want to watch every year, which I should probably start, is Home Alone. Never watched it as a kid. Watched it a few years ago now with friends, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I would add that I would never watch Christmas movies every year. That ruined Elf and the two of the three Santa Claus movies, and it almost ruined It's a Wonderful Life. I just don't like the repetitious cycle of a yearly rewatch. There are very few movies I could do that with.
I think it's just what Christmas movies do I feel like watching rather
Exactly.
than doing it for tradition's
The
sake.
exception is the short ones, the Garfields, the Garfield Thanksgiving, the Garfield Christmas. I like watching those because they're short. I like the Peanuts Christmas because it's short.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it because it's short. I like rewatching it every year because it's short.
Yeah.
What was the other one? I just thought of it. Oh, Grinch, the old Grinch. Yep. That's a classic.
Yeah, definitely.
I like watching him slither around. That's my favorite part.
Yes.
But yeah, this is the Christmas in May episode.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah, just 2 months off of July.
But we should have saved Arthur Christmas for July.
We should have.
Should have just postponed the Sony marathon.
Yeah.
It did not feel like Aardman, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it
no.
And not just because it was CG, but because the humor, it was a British movie, but that was it. That was the only the few Aardman productions I've seen. It just didn't feel like as clever. Because Wallace and Gromit is some pretty clever humor.
Yeah.
And what was the other? Oh yeah, Flushed Away.
Even had clever humor.
It had definitely had more personality to it, and the fact that it was CG stop motion before the Lego Movie was very impressive.
And it did look really good.
Yeah, it was the first 10 minutes I was that is CGI, isn't it? I had to realize it.
I just wish the whole movie didn't take place in a dank sewer
at least I guess there were rats
I mean, I guess
involved.
that kind of masks the CGI stop motion.
Boring brick is easy to render than luscious, beautiful England.
But yeah, I liked Arthur's Christmas. I mean, I was like you for a while. I didn't know if I liked it or not, but I think I lean more towards liking it.
As soon as we finished it, you said this is the best. This is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's 9 out of 10.
And okay, yeah, that's what I was. Okay, A, that was more a joke. B,
Oh well, I didn't know.
I like I said, I really like the ideas. I like the whole like generational superiority kind of thing that they're going for, which is extremely relatable in today's time. And like kind of like like the whole movie is being about like moving on from the past, but appreciating what came before.
Yeah.
And I really like that, and I think it actually works really well with a Christmas movie, judging that it's Christmas and it's all about celebrating traditions and and everything like that. So I liked it for that sense, but for me, it actually does put it to where I like it, but I also don't like the same things that you did. Like the animation was weird, the character models and designs were off. And some of the jokes didn't land.
Okay, the old, like the Grandpa Santa, Grand Santa, reminds me of the old guy from Tangled. That's who, like the whole
old guy
movie.
from Tangled.
Yeah, like the really old guy in the, well, it's not a bar because it's a kids movie, but like the tavern, and he's like the Cupid at the end during the fight scene.
I do not remember. Oh,
that's who he reminded me of. I was like, why does he look like he looks like someone? That's who it was.
I completely forgot about this character. I have not seen this movie in like 5 years, and I do not remember this character. That's crazy. But so that was a little movie update. I don't think we watched anything else in the meantime. I mean,
did we talk about this? I don't think we talked about the Smurfs, but we don't need to.
We don't need to talk about the Smurfs. You all know about the Smurfs. Go watch the Nostalgia Critic video or something. That pretty much sums up our opinions. And up next is Hotel Transylvania, right?
No. Today we're watching Pirates Band of Misfits.
I keep forgetting.
The actual Aardman movie that is stop motion.
Yeah, so actually looking forward to that. I thought it was going to be Hotel Transylvania. I was
that's
so
after
excited.
Pirates.
Can we do like a double? Can we do like a double and everything? I don't know why. I really want to watch
play Death Stranding though.
Hotel Transylvania. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so excited.
Because it's
for
Adam
it.
Sandler.
No. I think it's just
that's why.
I think it's because like as a kid I was like mildly interested in it. And when you're mildly interested in something as a kid, you're very interested in it as an adult.
I don't remember if I watched 1, 2, or both at my friend Keenan's house.
Yeah.
On his PS3.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Probably the DVD.
Gotta keep the tradition.
Yeah. Oh, we should watch it on the PS3.
Yeah.
Not the DVD though. I don't want to look at that.
So,
to me, I'm curious about Hotel Transylvania because that open season should not have been a franchise. It should have died at the first movie. But Hotel Transylvania got theatrical sequels.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 movies got theatrical release. I don't think Summer Vacation or whatever that, or Transformania, that was a COVID movie, so I don't think it released in theaters. But it probably would.
This is their money. Maybe they finally found their money maker with this is their Shrek.
Adam Sandler,
this is their Ice Age.
Is it Selena Gomez, the hot goth girl?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I should probably have checked her age before I said that. Redacted.
But yeah, so anyway, we are a fan fiction podcast.
Yeah, we are.
And I have a fan fiction for you.
I noticed. I have the email open.
All right.
I already clicked the link.
All right.
It's verifying if I'm a human.
All right.
I failed.
Oh no!
I forgot to tell you. Just kidding. I got it. Woohoo!
All right. What is it?
All right. I'm supposed to. The Metroid Encounter by Jynxfreak. This one I made for my brother when he begged me for it. Funny, at least from my point of view. It's rated K+, so no foul language here. It is in the humor genre. 2 chapters, 3,500 words, 7 reviews, a single favorite, and a single follow. This was published on May 7th, 2003. So that was...
Fusion
and Prime came out the same day.
Yeah,
so
hold on.
I thought because Prime was like 2002, 2003. I think.
Gotta go back to the Metroid Wikipedia that I tend to go to.
You could just
lot.
Google Metroid Prime release date.
No, because this is easier. You just gotta.
It's not.
You just gotta. Yeah, here we go. So 2002, yeah, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Prime was 2002. Nothing came out in 2003, and then after the 2004 was Zero Mission and Prime 2 Echoes. So yeah, so this is. So we got a key. So we got from Metroid, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Prime. That that this person had
Which
to go
is unfortunately
off of.
like half of the franchise.
Looking at this list, actually no, it's like
Is
a
it
third.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like there
really.
wasn't that much released
Because after that
this.
it was Pinballs, Hunters,
Okay,
3
I forgot about
Corruption,
the pinball game. I'm sorry.
Other M, Federation Force,
Okay,
Samus
yeah, I
Returns,
guess.
Remake. Yeah. So I was playing after the release or the announcement of Prime 4. I decided to finish out the Metroid series, especially the Prime series. So I finished the first Prime a while ago. I loved that game, even though it took me 3 attempts to try to like get into it. But on the third one, I finally did, and I really got into it. Just finished the second one a couple days ago. That was really fun. I have a lot of problems with it, not as good as the first one, but I'm playing through Hunters now, which I actually really like. So yeah, I also played all the like main series Metroid games, like a real Nintendo fan, or is it not a real? Are you a real Nintendo fan if you actually played the Metroid series?
Like the main series games.
Just played the Metroid game.
I think you're a true Nintendo fan if I don't even know, because like I'd say the main okay, here's the thing. If you play the original release of Metroid 1 and 2, you're like dedicated. Mm-hmm. You're like but that to me that's more like you're a Metroid fan. A Nintendo fan, I think a true Nintendo fan has at least played their flagship franchises. You're not just like Mario and Animal Crossing. You've played like multiple Zelda games. You've tried to play a Metroid game, whether you beat it or not, doesn't matter. You've tried F-Zero, you've tried Star Fox, you've tried a lot more of their like B.
Yeah.
Because like their A-list games, everyone knows about freaking Kirby. Like I don't care about that. I want to know if you play. Like, have you played Samus Returns, and why didn't you finish it? It's because of the 30 FPS. I know, me too. Yeah. Like, I do just dread selling so well. Made me so happy, because, like, that's, like, it's so good.
Like, and you gotta keep in mind, like, you know, a lot of new Nintendo fans have happened since the 2000s. And
yeah, it's like,
interested.
There's a lot more people playing games, and a lot more people playing, like, for lack of a better term, real video games, like non-casual.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Wii brought in, like, most of the gaming base we have now, I'd say. But the Wii introduced people to Wii Sports and, like, Deca Sports and, like...
and Carnival
games and that kind of stuff, which is fine. It got people to buy a Wii, but then when the Wii U happened... No one wanted, because they're just like, okay, well, I have the Wii though. Wii Sports is on the Wii. That's the game that is the game I play. People will play one game, and then the Switch happened, and those people were older and they had their own money, and they're just like, oh wait, I can just buy this and like play a video game wherever I want. And then I think that, like, the Wii generation, like, I think is what kind of brought the Switch up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, the Wii U fans didn't do anything for the Switch because they couldn't have done anything. There's nothing Wii U fans could have done to make the Switch do any better because there are so few of you.
Still waiting for Metroid Freeze. When is that coming out, guys? Come on.
Rest in peace of Metroid Freeze. I don't even know what that is.
What was that I just made? Okay. Anyway.
It was like the hiccup burp.
Yeah.
Burp up. I don't know what did I just talk about for the last 5 minutes?
Like people like
like what was I talking about?
Something about the Switch.
I think my point is that we have more. The Switch did what the Wii did, and it brought a lot of people into the ecosystem that weren't in it before or had fallen out. But instead of playing Nintendo Switch Sports. I mean, they do, but instead of that being their only game, instead of them picking like 1 or 2 casual games, they buy all the new ones. They bought Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. They bought Metroid Dread. They bought Animal Crossing. And it's like all these games are now like they have exposure now. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think we should bring back Star Fox.
Yeah.
Because people will like it will be good this time.
Yeah.
Because they won't let Miyamoto touch it.
Yeah.
And then it'll sell like 8 bajillion copies because people will be like, oh look, a good video game, and I will buy it because it's good. I just want a new Star Fox game.
Yeah.
That's the B tier franchise I want back the most.
So yeah.
Because it could be an A tier franchise, so just don't let it. Anyway, I've rambled about Star Fox enough on this podcast.
Yeah, played through all the Metroid games.
So you're a true Nintendo fan if you do that.
Yeah.
Just
so yeah, I definitely want to go for something a bit more like not like episode 25. Which if you don't know what we're talking about, go get us popular so we can release a Patreon so we can upload.
Well, we
that
never
episode.
talked about it. But episode 25 is so bad that it's not releasable.
Yeah, we can't do it
unless we get 1 million change.org petition signatures to release.
Yeah, let's go.
To release episode 25. But here's the thing: we're not. We are men of culture. We didn't pretend. We're not going to pretend it doesn't exist. Episode 25 was recorded.
I have it. I have it all.
So if you're looking at the podcast, you're just like, oh, why does it skip from 24 to 26? It doesn't. We just never released the gap. 25 will be released one day, maybe. But for now, it's not. But it does exist. So we didn't skip an episode. You just don't get to listen to it. Because it's bad.
For really
it's not
good
bad
reasons.
as in like we did a bad job. It's bad as in the content of that is like if we censored it, a lot of it would be not even.
We found the lining. We found the line to not cross. Like
oh, you touched my squad a la. I thought was the line. That was not the line.
No,
we were right before the line.
Yeah,
like, it could have gone further, and we found one that went further, and it wasn't good.
Yeah. So we're going back to bases because I was listening to some Yoshi 2.1. The Yoshi's baby problem, and I was just like, man, I used to be the guy. I used to be the I would bring the best ones.
You were Elijah Wood.
I'm trying to just capture that feeling again. I'm hoping this one does. All right.
Well, we'll see about that.
All right. So, this is The Metroid Encounter by Jynxfreak. Author's note.
Chapter 1.
Chapter. We gotta go with the author's note. Sorry, there's a lot of author's notes, by the way.
Oh, you do that first? I thought you did that after.
Did I? I can't remember. It's been a while since we recorded. Okay, author's note. This is a fan fiction that I wrote for my brother when he begged me to. It's all in my head, but don't hold your breath for me to type it. Serious writer's block, but I thought you might enjoy the first chapter, so here you go. Alright, so this is chapter 1, Thunderbolt and Lightning. Come on, Metroid, Jake Gooden, the 15-year-old skater boy from down the street said as he switched on his Game Boy Advance. The cartridge, by no coincidence, was Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
He casts a fugitive glance out the window to the stormy gray sky. Perhaps he shouldn't play. But hell, last time he beat a major boss and he wanted desperately to see what was next. Wasting no time, he skipped straight through the intro to the title screen. His game time was 3.3 minutes and 33 seconds, just as he pressed the button. However, lightning hit the power lines outside. Arthur's note, doesn't it always? And a deadly surge raced out the line, headed straight for Jake's AC adapter. Through the Game Boy and up Jake's arm to hit his body.
All right. I have an issue with this. It's rated K+, but he says hell.
Yeah, this is we've crossed the line. We've crossed the line. We can't release this.
Mr. Jynx, I'm going to report you to the fanfiction.net admins, and you will get blocked.
You will get
perma-banned.
You will get nuked.
For mislabeling your fanfiction. Are there even mods for this site, or is it just like a guy? I feel like it's just a guy who has a server in his basement.
Oh, that was queer, he said aloud to himself as he felt an odd floating sensation come over him. Maybe the lightning had screwed with his brain, because he didn't seem particularly surprised to see a large, swirling blue vortex open in front of him. And indeed, he wasn't in the least upset that it pulled him and his Game Boy into its depths. He even looked a little bored with the swirling psychedelic tunnel that he was moving along in at a terrifying speed. The ride abruptly ended when the tunnel did. The opening at the other end showed a metallic floor below him. Jake reached out and pulled his Game Boy towards him, bracing for what would certainly be a hard impact. It was. Perhaps the bump to the head canceled out his earlier shock. He suddenly became very worried about what had just happened. Jake's new surrounding appeared to be futuristic and high-tech, though how he jumped to this conclusion considering it was a simple hallway. We shall leave unexplained. Jake looked to his left and right. There seemed to nothing of interest. Turning around, he walked directly into someone. Wait.
I don't know who's... This is Jake.
Oh yeah. Sorry, are you... He suddenly noticed that he was talking to an empty suit of armor, and a fairly distinctive one at that. Oh yeah, he said under his breath, a slow grin crossing his face. He stared up at Samus's power suit, grinning his head off. One thing he had never realized was how tall it would be. Then again, whenever he saw it, it was usually 0.7 centimeters tall and running about on a tiny screen. He glanced down at his left hand, which still held his Game Boy. He turned it off and put it in his pocket for future reference. Jake suddenly had the queer feeling that someone is watching you. He was right. Very suddenly, a slender arm snaked around his neck, and what was obviously a hand rested against the back of his head. Being your average 15-year-old, Jake had watched too many bad and violent movies and instantly recognized this hold as one that could break his neck if his attacker so choose. He kept very still.
Who are you and what do you want?
Said a voice in his ear. It could have been anyone talking, but Jake, with his overactive imagination, assumed it was Samus. Listen, this is all a big mistake. He was cut off and the hand increased pressure on the back of his head.
Tell me who you are or I break your neck. You chose a really bad day to come onto my ship, alright? I just been thinking about what I could possibly find to kill around here, and it looks like you're it.
You could call that a hostile statement. That'd be an understatement of the century. Jake, I'm Jake Gooden. Jake Gooden. That's who I am. Samus growled behind him.
That doesn't tell me anything.
The pressure on his head increased by a fraction. What do you want to know? I'm from Earth. Considering about the way I got here, probably from a parallel dimension or wormhole or something. I mean you no harm. I didn't mean to touch your suit. Or the suit, or whatever. I promise. I'm not like a spy or a pirate or anything. The pressure eased up a bit, and now we're in italices.
The whole thing's in italices.
Why are we in italices?
Go on.
Right. Jake felt really relieved. I heard about crackpots like you. Waited.
No, I think that's
all right.
I've heard about crackpots like you.
Or not. Samus released Jake's head and turned him around to face her.
That's funny. You look serious. Well, one way to find out.
Samus dragged Jake by the ear down the hallway to stop at one particularly plain and boring-looking door. Upon going inside, Jake saw some kind of medical facility.
Have a seat.
Samus indicated a normal-looking hospital bed. Jake sat there, watching Samus more and more uneasily. She wrenched a drawer out from its runners and slammed it down on a table. Then picked up a rather sharp-looking instrument with long, serrated prongs. Jake paled. She set it down, to his relief, to pick up something that looked like a small circular saw. Or not. He let out a sigh when she put this one down, but nearly fainted when she reached in with both hands and pulled out the biggest, heaviest, meanest looking sledgehammer he'd ever seen. He came even closer to fainting when, instead of putting the hammer down like the other instruments, she stood there weighing it in her hands for a little while, then took a couple of small swings. Finally, she relinquished the hammer and instead picked up the regular hypodermic needle, turning around to face Jake. This time he didn't faint. Sorry, the italicized are freaking screwing me up. Samus cocked an eyebrow and attracted a little and attracted a little blood from inside Jake's arm. While he was still asleep, author's note, what am I saying? He's out cold. She ran it through the computer to find that there really was no files on this Jake Gooden. Just then, he came to. Samus could tell by the fact that he sat up too fast and promptly fell off the bed.
Guess what?
She said, pulling him upright by the back of his shirt.
Story checks out. You really aren't from around here. Either that or you're a master hacker who could break the Galactic Federation's firewalls.
She peered closely at his face.
Which, by your appearance, you aren't. You don't look nearly smart enough.
Jake took slight offense, but decided to let it go for now. Samus was leaving the room, talking as she went. It was obvious that Jake was to follow.
But you know, it's really a good thing that you dropped in. You see, the reason I was around to find you was that I was looking for a toolkit. My ship's having some problems, and to make it all the way back to the Galactic Federation, to get my pay for the last mission, I'd have to go out and fix it on the outside of the ship, and it'd take me heaps of trips to get the couplings right. Now I can just send you and talk through the two-way, and if you float off into deep space, then no skin off my back.
The pair had reached what was obviously the control room for what had seemed to be a small ship. Author's note, 2.5 centimeters to be exact. The room was actually quite large.
Just keep going.
In the following 10 minutes, Jake was instructed on how to get into the spacesuit, with much poking, prodding, and jokes about size. Instructed how to fix the couplings, and then shoved out of an airlock.
I'm only going to do this on one
I'm only going to do this on one condition, Samus, Jake said through the two-way as he crawled along the outside of the ship. I'll do it if you let me hang around you until I find a way to get home, which he stopped to swear at a large piece of metal sticking out from the side of the ship, which had very meticulously been welded on where he would have liked to place his foot. I hope will be soon. No hard feelings, but I want to get out of this dimension as soon as possible. Samus agreed to his conditions and reminded him that it was only if he could do his job here.
Okay, now you can see the second access hatch?
Samus' voice came fairly loud over the two-way.
Oh, sorry, I should have yelled that.
Yeah, Jake had mixed feelings about his first time in deep space.
Okay, get out that screwdriver tool I gave you and take off the protective panel.
Jake did so.
You've done it. Okay, now do you see the yellow button with the red label?
Yeah, I do, Jake replied.
Well, whatever the hell you do out there, don't touch that! There should be a couple of electrical conduits above the button, right?
Uh-huh, and there's no And there's one that's not connected. Samus in the control room of her ship nodded.
Well, I'm going to get you to pull those 2 wires together. Good. And screw the mating connectors together. Yeah. And I'll tell you how to turn it.
Jake did so. Okay, he said. It really was cold out here in deep space.
To start, just give it a couple of turns away from you. Okay, stop. A little toward you. No, that's too much. Just a touch away from you. You got it.
The lights in the control room flared brighter, and some screens that have been shut off lit up. Samus walked over to the airlock and reeled Jake in.
Good job. Thanks to that, I can get to the Galactic Federation in half the time.
And I can stay?
For now. Who knows? It might be useful having you around.
So where do I sleep? Author's note. Samus. Outside! Quote Shrek.
I don't know. I thought I might shove you under the bed or something.
Oh, Samus, you're so crazy. What?
I think it's...
Is that supposed to be...
It says Jake said in a Swedish accent.
Oh, Jake said in a Swedish accent. She looked at him oddly.
Now who told you my name?
Jake shrugged. I told you, the whole alternate reality gig. In my world, you're a video game character, and a mighty good one too. Samus rubbed her pointy chin.
Pointy chin. A video game character, eh?
She looked deep in thought, and suddenly it looked like she had forgotten about her idea entirely.
You want some chow?
Sure, I couldn't resist an offer like that. Jake was really comforted by the fact that the chow was a big bag of chips, salt and vinegar, and a can of Coke. You got Coke here? He said, mouthful of chips.
Well, sure. Coke is the single most successful cola company in this galaxy. Why are you so surprised?
They've got where I came from as well. Did you know that it's called Coke because it originally had cocaine in it? Samus nodded. Her mouth was too full to reply.
That's the scene from Scott Pilgrim where he just goes up to Ramona Flowers, messes up the Puckman trivia.
I was thinking about Death Stranding and how Monster is the single only company that ever survived the Death Stranding. So, dude, they should have Coke in Metroid Prime 4.
Dude, yeah, a reference to the Metroid encounter, everyone's favorite Metroid fanfiction.
The world famous Metroid fanfiction with one favorite or whatever.
And one follow.
And one follow, yes. Thanks to Jake's handiwork on the power coupling, the rest of the journey only took 19 hours, most of which Jake slept through. Finally, they arrived at Galactic Federation HQ. Jake watched, interested as Samus climbed into her power suit.
You see, I don't actually have to wear this, but if I don't, it takes me ages to convince these idiots that I'm Samus Aran. They think I'm a guy. And anyway, I like scaring the secretary. When we get in there, walk beside me and walk with purpose or they'll stop us. It's a lot easier to intimidate people when you're 7 feet tall and they can't see your face.
Jake nodded. He didn't want to see what would happen if he managed to go against what Samus had just told him. Why is she bringing him?
Because dumb.
Because dumb. It was just as Samus had said. The secretaries, although terrified, acknowledged that she was Samus Aran and told her to go ahead to the senator's office. Jake got some odd looks along the way, but nobody stopped him. Finally, Samus reached the office and pressed the comm link next to the door.
Samus Aran to see the Gal-Fed senator.
Static crackled through the tiny speaker.
Come in, Miss Aran.
A voice said. Samus did so, and Jake followed apprehensively.
Oh, welcome back, Samus. And
the senator, a middle-aged man with black hair, looked towards Jake. Jake, he said shortly, and the senator nodded.
And Jake, please have a seat.
Again, Samus did as she was invited to, and Jake did the same, taking the other chair.
Now, to business. I'm sorry to say that I really don't have time for formalities. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Here's your cred. As we agreed, quite a hefty sum. I'm going to go get your file. Wait, I'm going to get you to file your logbook in the archives, and then you're free to go until we have another job for you.
The senator glanced at Jake.
Who's the kid? I don't do babysitting if that's what he's here for,
he said. Samus had to think for a suitable exclamation in a short amount of time. Maybe she was tight. No exclamation. I'm Samus' current job. Yeah, my parents are a highly influential couple with a lot of cred behind them. And there is this gang of lowlifes that want a slice of estate in ransom money, of course. Samus said that she'd catch the guys, but she's using me as bait to draw them in. And if you have another job, though, she can take that on as well. The senator looked sympathetic.
Brave lad. Well, I'm sure Samus will take good care of you. Now, I hate to be rude, but if you two could be on your way.
They took the hint and left, saying their goodbyes as they exited the room. Samus started off towards another corridor, presumably the archives. As she went, she looked down at Jake.
That was some smooth lying back there. So you are good at for something.
Jake grinned. Forgetting things, for example, homework, increases your ability to lie. Author's note. That's my motto in life. Jake put on a serious face for a second.
This is still Jake.
Okay. Oh, sir. You know. Wait. Oh, sir. You know I did it, but you see my bag. But you see my bag was in the laundry where I usually put it, and the washing machine broke. And there was like 5 centimeters of water on the ground in there, and you could tell what kind of mess my book is in. Samus laughed heartily at this until they got to the archives, at which time she filed the logbook and turned to Jake, the credit card in her hand.
Now, I might almost say that there's too much credit on this card. It'll weigh down my handbag.
Wait, Samus minded being a posh lady in a dress with a handbag.
So what do you say we go spend a bit, eh?
Jake made a slow grin again. Sounds like a plan, mi amigo.
Come on, I need a drink.
Whoa, chapter 1, Thunderbolts and Lightning.
That was something, alright.
It was a lot of nothing.
Well, chapter 2 is very short. Maybe not very short, but it's definitely shorter.
All right, chapter 2, Cloak and Dagger.
By the way, I don't know if you can tell, but this might be a self-insert. I don't know for sure.
I was wondering the same thing.
It's not definitive.
Yeah,
there's a
we
chance.
don't know. Also, the italics are gone.
Yay. We can read it again. Why is it so much harder to read entire paragraphs in italics?
I don't. It sucks. Okay. I got a whole 2 reviews. Don't take much to please me, does it? Asking me to continue this, so I did. The next installment is non-existent so far, but I might eventually get there.
Spoilers, they don't.
All right, the Metroid Encounter, Chapter 2, Cloak and Dagger. The place Samus intended on spending some cred oh my gosh. The place Samus intended on spending some cred in happened to be a pub. Though, as Jake thought about it, this was entirely logical. They stopped outside the door and Samus turned to him, grinning widely.
You can't see her face. Like, what? This is one of my most favorite places in the galaxy. The Cloak and Dagger.
Samus was still wearing her suit.
You can hold your own in a brawl, right?
Samus swallowed and...
Nope.
Samus...
No.
What? Oh, Jake swallowed and then nodded, slightly pale as they entered the bar. Nobody gave Samus a second glance as she waltzed up to the bar and ordered some drinks. Samus had what looked like a blue vodka cruiser in a bottle, except it fizzed and sparkled in a fairly dangerous-looking manner. Author's note: Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. Douglas Adams fan, you know who you are. Okay. Jake got on his request, a gin and tonic that seemed to be what he had from the time back home, or from time to time back home.
He's 15.
They sat down, enjoying the atmosphere in the bar, until a rather drunk-looking man on the other side of Samus took some interest.
This is adults-only bar. Why'd you bring a kid in here, big rocks?
Jake glanced at Samus, who shook her head slightly.
Hey, I'm talking to ya. Why don't you talk? Maybe the kid does. Hey, kid, get out of here.
Jake stared into his drink, trying to think of a way to make the man get lost. He also noticed that the drunk thought Samus was a man.
He don't talk either.
The guy muttered to himself.
Like father, like son, I guess.
Jake realized with a shock that the man thought Samus was his dad.
Both dumb as a bit of 4x2. Probably reckons they in some family restaurant. Ya hearing me? Go back to whatever kinder you.
The man didn't finish his sentence because at that moment Samus put her drink down on the table and stood up, towering over the drunk.
Oh, so ya listen after all. Well, ya heard me. You and ya kid haul ya bleeped asses out of here or all.
Samus balled her fist threateningly.
Yeah. Wait, is this?
Yeah, that's drunk.
Yeah, I can take you. You couldn't land a hit on me if you...
It was at this point that Samus shocked him so hard across the jaw that he went flying and bashed into a group of men sitting around a table. Jake knew what was coming.
Hey, yeah, Tony, let's get him, boys.
A group of 5 stood up and pushed across the room, knocking people over as they went. These people in turn became enraged, and in the space of 30 seconds, everyone in the bar was brawling. Jake stayed relatively close to Samus because of the fact that most people were going for her and left him alone.
That's Jake.
Oh, I could have sworn you just knocked Captain Falcon for 6, he shouted over the noise.
Who? Oh, Falcon.
Samus stopped to whack someone over the head with her cannon arm.
Yeah, he drives a hover car in...
She kicked someone in the balls.
the F-Zero series. I don't like him. He's a loser.
She smacked out with both arms to hit a couple of guys that have been coming from behind. Samus let out a feral battle cry and charged through the room, clotheslining quite a few adversaries on the way. Suddenly, and quite unexpectedly, there was a sound of the phone ringing. Everyone in the room froze. Quite a few, including Samus, mid-punch. The bartender picked up the phone and listened for a couple of seconds, then handed the phone to Samus.
It's for you,
he said, still silence as Samus took off her helmet, then started talking on the phone.
What? Senator, you can't be. Okay then, I'm on my way.
She handed the phone back to the bartender and flicked her hair over her shoulder, then turned to face all of the bar's occupants again. Silence. Suddenly, Tony pointed at Samus' face and cried out,
"Hey, he's a she!"
Suddenly, everyone was in motion, crowding to the one corner of the bar, incidentally the one furthest away from Samus. Jake stared off this note, and yet he is still there.
Come on, Jake. Apparently a bunch of space pirates have attacked the Galactic Federation HQ. Who knows what they want? I might wonder, but I'm to go over there and basically kick some ugly alien butt. And being your average, 14-year-old?
15, Jake corrected.
15-year-old. I'm guessing you think you're hard enough to handle a bit of action?
Jake nodded. Arthur's note, macho man. And Samus suddenly shook her head scornfully, a big grin on her face.
Well, okay, let's catch a ride back to HQ, shall we?
And that was chapter 2, The Cloak and Dagger.
The final chapter.
Okay, wait, Jynxfreak. Jynxfreak. What have you done? Let's see.
What have you done?
All right.
Other than 4 stories.
Wait.
Okay, we've got Kingdom Hearts, Legend of Zelda, this one, and
Sonic
the Hedgehog, the slow drinker.
What is
Shadow survive story, but not the regular nurse back to health by soulmate / future love type. Humorous one to come after if people ask. Smiley.
Whoa. Okay, skimming through this one. This one looks also pretty interesting. Okay, I'm gonna save this one. All right. What did you think of what did you think of the Metroid? Or I forgot what it was called. The Metroid Encounter.
Not the best.
No, I mean,
better than the last one you picked, though.
That's for sure. Yes. I was hoping. I mean, at least Samus was somewhat like Samus. Unlike
I don't think she was at all.
Unlike Yoshi 2.1, where she was like a mischievous like girl that's like wanting to drink potions for some reason. Like she loves to test potions.
Being baby.
She loves me. Well, this was 2003. So if
Had she spoken yet? I guess in Fusion a little bit, but it's like Fusion was the one with like you could read like her diary entries or like journal entries or something.
Oh, it's been so long since I've played that one. I don't know, but yeah, the only you know what now I think about it, I think the only 3D model of Samus was Smash Bros.
And Prime.
Oh, did Prime come out? Oh yeah, of
yes,
course. Prime.
We already decided.
Yeah. So Prime was released. But yeah, so it's kind of funny to see the different interpretations of Samus from Yoshi 2.1 and Jynxfreak. But I mean, really wanted
the best part was the author's note at the end where he's just like macho man.
There are so many things that just didn't make any sense. Like, I don't know if there are like quotes from movies or other pop culture references, but I have no idea what they were saying.
What's
sometimes.
A pan-galactic gargle blaster?
Yeah,
and who's Douglas Adams?
Wait,
let's look it up.
Yeah, look.
Douglas Adams. Oh, an author?
Whoa.
Oh, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh.
I do still need to...
So that was probably like... we've watched the movie like a long time ago.
Oh, I completely forgot.
Yeah, and it was like so nonsensical. I had no idea what was going on, and I don't remember anything from it. So maybe this blue blorber... Well, what was it?
Pan-galactic gargle blaster.
Yeah, maybe that was from it. I don't know.
Chapter 2 was just like the chapters also were very different. Like chapter 1 was definitely super fanficky. Like,
yeah. She takes out a sledgehammer and is about to.
And then chapter 2 is like almost competently written. It's it is just a generic like scene with like a contrived fight for no reason, and like in a literary work, like fight scenes aren't nearly as interesting as you think they are, because it's like there's so much unless you're like incredibly good at being like descriptive with short like sentences, it's hard to make a good like fight scene because it's all up to the imagination.
Right.
And in this one, it's just like in my head they were just talking next to each other, and then sometimes someone would come up and she'd punch them.
Yeah,
because there's not enough description. But I don't know. Yeah. And yeah, the R word wasn't nice.
Well, this is K plus.
Yeah, exactly.
We got guys.
That's even worse than the hells.
And the hells. 2
hells and an R word. This was 2003 though.
Yeah,
that was more accepted, I guess. So I guess it was okay back then.
You remember he watched violent movies.
Oh yeah.
So
that wasn't even
scene...
the kid. That was like one of the people.
No, that was the kid. He's like, I think it's like an author's note. One of the million author's note.
No, that was the drunk guy. He's like, You and ya kid haul ya bleep asses out of here, or I'll.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about the violent movies.
Oh, the violent movies was like an author's note, yeah, something like that.
Samus mind being a posh lady in a dress with a handbag. What?
Like that
dude?
was like so out of character.
I
like,
know.
Samus doesn't talk. Like,
right. She's never spoken a single word.
I mean, she has.
Like,
but
well, not
very.
in the games I've played, at least.
You play Metroid Dread. She has like, she says like one thing in Chozo, and then that's it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And it's like the best moment in the game.
Yeah, that was so awesome, dude.
That's what I mean, though. It's like one line in a game, basically, and then that's it. Or like journal entries, mostly. And this one, she's a yapper. Like
She just keeps talking.
Like in the first chapter, there's a whole paragraph of her just being like, "Oh, the blah 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 blah," and I'm just like, "Oh my god."
There were so many times where I was just like, just freaking get on with it, like the whole ship repair thing. I'm just like, you're trying,
care.
yeah,
I
sure,
do not care.
You're trying to like, make them make them trust each other and stuff.
But it was so Samus is just like, I'm gonna have you that I just met who broke into my ship go outside and fix it in a spacesuit that apparently isn't heated properly. If you can feel how cold it is in space,
it was very cold. Like it was cold in the spacesuit. That's all you had to say. Man, look at us judging a over 20-year-old, 12-year-old fan fiction.
Yeah, this will get. This will teach the author a lesson.
Wait, what's the newest one?
2004.
2000. Oh my god! So
Jynxfreak, yeah.
he didn't last too long, did he? Oh, dude, I can't wait to get into the Kingdom Hearts fictions, dude. It's gonna be a good one.
I just gotta play 3 more Final Fantasy games to be caught up in context.
I just need to play Final Fantasy X.
And 10 too, right?
Oh yeah, and 10 too.
Yeah, I need to play 9, 10, and 10 too.
So, what do we rate?
And I guess I don't. Do I play Mystic Quest? Like, I don't really want. Do you think they'll reference Mystic Quest in Kingdom Hearts? Do you think?
I don't know, man.
Isn't the protagonist's name like Benjamin?
Yeah, it's literally Benjamin. I keep thinking about Brian.
That's almost
as
funny. I was gonna say that's almost as funny as Brian from Quest 64. I really want to play Quest 64. So bad.
I'll watch you play it.
It looks like the cutest little game ever.
I'll watch you play it when you done with Death Stranding.
Well, first I have to finish Death Stranding, then I have to play 5 GTAs before 6 comes out.
Yeah, because it's coming out this year.
And then I have to play the Metroid Prime games. Because I'm gonna miss Metroid Prime 4. Look at me, I'm putting GTA over Metroid Prime. Wow.
How could you? You're not a Nintendo fan.
The single largest gaming event of my lifetime. I'm putting that ahead of Metroid Prime 4. Sorry, guys. I don't know. It was. When was the last time we gave a fanfiction a rating?
I can't even remember. It's like overall quality.
You want to know why we haven't been giving them a rating? Because no one made a subreddit of us. And keeps
get
track
on
of
that.
Our ratings. Made a whole website for it.
Come on, guys, go make the subreddit. We're waiting. And a website. Because someone else make the website.
Yeah, I don't want to. I already pay a whole like $12 a month for my website, or $12 a year for my website.
My lord,
it's cheap if you go for something like abc.com.
like
it's very cheap.
To have that domain.
One wants that domain. I could have also gotten every other dot possible. I could have gotten no one had any variation of ABC 1, 2, 3.
Oh, so imagine if someone comes from an alternate dimension and they tell you like, "Oh yeah, you're a video game character." I would be
and
like,
she acknowledges it in chapter 3, saying that Captain Falcon's from the F-Zero series.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
you could have.
Are you saying that they're a game in this universe, or that she's now aware she's a video game, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's the other video game franchise that I interact with in Smash Bros." I don't know what's going on, man.
Dude. F-Zero and Metroid fanfiction would be insane, like a crossover.
Show me your moves.
I didn't even think about that.
That's the only thing Falcon says is "show me your move."
I'm gonna do more research on that. That would be cool. But yeah, like I wanted the Game Boy to also be a plot thing, and maybe it was going to be, but like I wanted him to like pull it out and like to like Mecha Ridley and be like, "You're a video game character," and he has like, some kind of like existential crisis or something.
And he's like, "Yeah, here's me fighting you in the game." He's like, "I'm in the game. I'm just a game
Oh,
character."
what if he's
Then he
fighting him
melts.
in the game, but it's actually giving him damage in real life?
Oh yeah, he whips up the game where he's like, "I'll fight him in the game," and then like he starts controlling Samus in real life.
Yeah, dude, that would have been awesome.
Come on, Jynxfreak, come out of retirement. Give us what we want. Give the fans what they want.
He's just okay. This players are probably like 30 years old at this point. Oh my gosh.
China's interesting.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else to say, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Pick a Fic. We'll see you. Please like and subscribe. And
if we get 100 views on YouTube on this episode, we will release a Patreon.
Oh my God.
And then we will eventually release episode 25 only on Patreon.
Only on Patreon. So you guys better share to your family, to your friends, to your brothers, sisters.
So we have like
coworkers.
4 subscribers on YouTube. Do you think that's enough to make a Patreon?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucks right now, but we'll get there one day, and you'll regret it once you listen to episode 25.
You'll be like, oh yeah, I see why.
All right, see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.